guys, very special video today. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the Action Army AAP-01, which is one of our favourite pistols here in the shop. We're going to be going over all the features and upgrades for this awesome pistols, as well as an unboxing, chrono test and a basic review. Awesome, let's get into it. So every single Action Army AAP comes with a entity test report, which sort of just tells you what it was chronoing straight out the factory, and you also get a owner's manual, which is always good to give it a read, in a couple of different languages. As well as obviously the pamphlet, you get your Action Army AAP-01 and your standard size 23 round magazine. So for the features and fire controls on the AAP, you have an ambidextrous slide release on both sides to drop the bolt, which is pretty unique here to the AAP. One of very few pistols that instead of a slide, we have this reciprocating bolt at the back. Obviously front and rear front and rear fibre optic sights, and you do have a 14mm counterclockwise threads hidden by this thread protector on the end, so you can attach any sort of standard muzzle device, suppressor, tracer unit you would on your rifles without needing any sort of special adapters, as well as that because of the reciprocating bolt, you don't have any barrel wobble or movement, which means that your tracer units are going to be much more securely mounted and you can put heavier and larger muzzle devices on this. So that covers the upper with your fibre optic sights and your threads, and then you can also access your hop up, which we'll go over a bit later, by locking the bolt to the rear, and there's a small gear to access through the breech of the pistol. You then have a safety lever on the left hand side of the pistol, which will display as red when it is ready to fire, and obviously the red gets hidden when you put it onto safe. You have a ambidextrous or swappable magazine release here, which comes factory for right-handed shooters. Trigger with built-in safety, takedown button at the rear here, which you can cock the pistol and obviously leverage the pistol up to take it down, and then you can reinstall it just as easily. A few body pins for disassembly, which we can go over, and that is the main controls of the pistol itself. Now it does use a standard Glock style magazine. This has the flat gas route lips that you'll find on WEs, as well as a few other brands out there, as opposed to the TM, which use a concave feed lips for the gas. These are very compatible. We've tested them with the WE mags, as well as they can run on TM as well. Not quite to the exact same performance, but it is usable. Obviously internal features as well. You've got the selector here, which can be used to change it from semi to auto. That is one of the great features, because internally these AAPs are very similar to a TM or WE Glock 18C, with being able to go semi or full auto. Let's check it on the chrono. So chronoing in at just below a joule at about 0.95, 0.93, the AAP is perfect for that CQB action, and you're going to get accurate shots up to about 20 metres, as we'll show you in just a second, and you can probably punch out to sort of that 30, 40 with on sort of larger targets. So, if you are going to be dumping on auto, one of the things to consider, and one of the common wear points on the AAP-01 is the hammer. Now we do have in stock the Action Army CNC steel hammers. Cow Technologies also make their version of a steel hammer, and both of these are awesome options to look at swapping out once yours does break. Unfortunately, just because of the full auto nature of the pistol, this is a really common break in the stock ones, but you can upgrade straight out the box if you want an absolute beast, or you can wait until it does break and then swap that out for an upgraded one, and then you'll have a bulletproof AAP. Some of the other things to consider with owning them is lubrication. As with any gas pistol, you're going to want to make sure it's lubed, especially on the AAP because of the reciprocating bolt having a lot of contact points with the rest of the body. You want to make sure that that bolt has a good amount of lubrication all around it to keep it cycling at a nice speed, and it also reduces some of the wear on your springs and reduces the gas consumption of your pistol. So make sure to be doing correct maintenance. If you do have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. We do have a couple YouTube videos on maintaining your gas pistol as well. So that does go over two of the most common ones, which is your hammer and making sure your pistol is lubed up, as well as that straight out the box. We do recommend setting your hop up, as these here do come with the hop completely off, which can cause some issues with the BB rolling out the barrel. For chaining your hop up, we'll get into that right now. So removing the upper off the lower, you can actually see your hop wheel to just sort of get a good gaze through it, but you can also rack it back and adjust it while it's on the pistol. So as I showed before, rack it back and you can access it from just in here. Now these here we find absolutely love your 0.2s to 0.25 sort of weights, but there are heaps of options for upgrades. Speaking of hop-ups, there are heaps of options. We have the Action Army upgraded hop-up chamber, which you can install for more consistency and longer range shots. As well as that, you can look into a tighter bore barrel or a upgraded bucking to sort of punch out to those extra distances and get that FPS up if you so please. Other upgrades for this pistol are lightweight bolts, which will increase your cycle speed, as well as spring sets, recoil springs, as well as nozzle springs to increase feeding rate and cycle speed. You can get enlarged controls such as the mag release, mag well, and charging handle, and also an adjustable CNC trigger. So there's heaps of options for pistol upgrades, but there is also, because of the nature of it, a plethora of upgrades to increase this thing's size and options for on the field. So you can get a stock or handguard kit to increase the size of the pistol and use it as more of an SMG. And you can go right up to building out into a full-size rifle to run in sort of more classes. And with a longer barrel or a tighter bore barrel, you will be able to increase your FPS and get even higher performance out of this thing. So it is one of the reasons why we do love the AAP-01. Let's dive into some of those upgrades we were talking about earlier. This here is one of our custom shot builds. It obviously has a upgraded slide kit on the top. This is the Black Mamba, which is a CNC metal upper from aluminium, which changes the complete look of the pistol, gives you integrated top and bottom rails, and obviously adds a bit more weight. This here is orientated more towards your speed shooters, with the sort of stylings of, the compensator, attachment points for an optic on the top, and then also this one here has the thumb stopper for quickly acquiring sights, especially with a red dot, as well as the charging ring for faster reloads, adjustable trigger for a shorter trigger pull to faster fall-up shots, and a enlarged mag release as well for quicker reloads. So this thing here is built out as a race pistol, and that is just one of the many things you can do to the AAP-01. As mentioned before, the AAP platform is more than just a pistol, and this build here helps demonstrate that. So this is built out with one of the Action Army adjustable stocks, as well as their CNC metal handguard. So these two options, as well as a charging handle, magwell, and a few other flashy upgrades, turn this pistol into a SMG carbine, which can hold its own against most other carbine SMGs on the market, such as your MP7s. That is one of the many great things about this affordable platform, is that it does have a huge amount of upgradability down the line, in that you can buy the base pistol, game it how it is, get a feel for it, and then look into building it out to be exactly how you want. And no two AAPs will be quite the same.